Hi everyone and welcome back. It's Mindy with Mindy Egan Design and I'm participating in the 31 Nights of Halloween with Whimsy Stamps. Today I have a quick and simple Halloween card to share using Dracula Bite Me stamp set and die set. I'm going to start off by stamping my Dracula image onto Neenah white cardstock using my MISTI tool. I'm going to ink it up once and stamp, and then I'll ink it up 2 more times and stamp to make sure I have a nice clean impression with those solid areas. I'm going to start off by coloring my image. I like to use Neenah white cardstock for coloring because I like the way the Copic marker ink sinks into the cardstock, and also Neenah cardstock is what I use 90% of the time for my cards, so my image will match any white cardstock that I use. This is a real quick image to color. I start off by laying down my lightest color, which is E00. Then I'm going to go over the areas I believe where the shadows are going to be, and I'm going to use my darkest color E04. It's kind of a habit to color as if my light source is in the top right corner. And then next I'll come in with the E11 and E21 and then the E01 and blend it out. Next, I'm going to give him a red vest. So I start out with my darkest red, which is the R59. I know some people like to go around first with their lightest color to map out where their shadows will be, but I don't typically do that. It is a good idea because if you put a shadow where it shouldn't be, it's easy to fix because it's a light color. I just usually start right in with my darkest color and go. So I'm going to continue blending the reds out, which is also the R56 and R46. Now I'll come in and do the hair and pants in the same colors. I try to reuse the same colors where I can throughout my image to try and avoid a million markers sitting on my desk. So I'm going to go through the same process, coloring darkest to lightest, and then sometimes I'll go back over it to deepen those shadow areas. You always want to keep in mind that when you go over a darker color with a lighter color, that lighter color kind of takes away some of that darker color you first laid down, if that makes sense. So that's why I like to go back over my colors to deepen those shadows. For the shirt, I want it to resemble white, but I need some shading to it. So I'm going to come in with my W2, W1, and W0. The trick with white is to leave some white on your paper. So you don't want to color the entire thing. You just want to come in and add a little bit of shadowing and then blend it out. And you can even use your colorless blender if you want to kind of help eliminate, if you went a little overboard on that. This stamp set also has a coordinating die, so I'm going to line that up, hold it in place with some Post-it note tape, and run it through my Big Shot machine. Then I can remove the Post-it note tape and reveal my image. I really like using this Post-it note tape for this because it hasn't yet ruined my cardstock versus when I used to use painter's tape. Now I have my image with this smooth, clean border around it. This die set also has some small bats on it that I previously cut out off screen with some black cardstock. These are some pretty cute bats and great for adding embellishments to your card. You could also cut out multiples and layer them up to add dimension if you choose. Some are so tiny that it's a little easier for me to pick up with my jewel picker. Now I can start putting my card together. I previously cut out a circle and a scallop circle using some random pattern paper that I happen to have in my stash, and then also some black cardstock. Tried to have it resemble a moon. Then I also have some purple cardstock for my base, orange cardstock for my first layer, and some orange pattern paper for the next layer. Now I'm just going to go in and line it up where I want it all to go. Another trick you can do is take a picture with your phone so that you know what you settled on for a final layout. Now I need a sentiment for my card, and I want to stamp this before I glue everything down. This sentiment, "Welcome to your twilight years," I thought was pretty funny with Dracula's grumpy face. I'm going to stamp it in the middle of my yellow pattern paper, and I'm not too worried if it's straight or not because it's on the circular shape and I can just rotate it around before adhering it down to the cardstock. I use the MISTI tool just in case I don't get a good impression the first time. You don't have to use a MISTI. Any stamping tool or an acrylic block would work fine too. Now I can go ahead and start adhering my card together as everything is pretty much done. I'm using my Tombow tape runner to put it together. I like this adhesive because I still have some wiggle room to move things around if I don't line it up perfectly, and then I just press it down firmly when I'm ready. To add a little dimension, I'm adding some foam squares behind my image, and then I can go ahead and attach that to my card. For my bats, I found it best to use my tweezers to hold them. Then I'm using some Nuvo DELUXE adhesive and adding that to the back of the bats and attaching them to the card. I love the nozzle on this adhesive, so I just randomly place those bats around my circle. Then I thought it needed just a little something yet, so I'm adding some glossy accents to the bat. And let me tell you, this looks so cool when it dries. It looks a little cloudy when you first put it on, but it dries clear and is really shiny. One last touch is I added some Nuvo black drops to the card. I have a tendency to group them in threes. I just really like that look. If you've never tried Nuvo drops before, I highly recommend them. They are a fabulous touch to add to your cards, and it has the same fine nozzle as the glue. That finishes my quick and simple Halloween and or birthday card for you for today. All the supplies will be listed down below and also on my blog. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below and subscribe to my channel for more inspiration. Here are a few more videos you may be interested in. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.